up, guys? I'm student Dr. Thompson. I'm a fourth year medical student. In this video, I wanted to explain what fourth year of medical school will be like for me. You can apply it to you, and then give you a brief recap of the last half of third year because they seem to kind of blend together. And I say that because the last half of third year for me was really spent narrowing down the medical specialties and choosing one, or for some people, two specialties to really pursue during fourth year. And this has been an incredibly difficult decision for me to choose a specialty. And another reason why it's been hard is because I've thoroughly enjoyed almost every rotation. I mean, I thought I would naturally find my place, but when most fields are interesting, it becomes a matter of weighing pros and cons. I really appreciated primary care, and for some reason I wouldn't be sad spending the rest of my life as a family doctor. But one thing happened to me, and that was I rotated with the most amazing physician. Spent 4 weeks with him, and as he was evaluating me, I asked him, you know, kind of like assuming that he knew that I was interested in family medicine, I said, would you choose this specialty again? And surprisingly, he said that if he had to do it all over again, he would choose another specialty. That really disappointed me, because he made it look so good. And so I kind of just hung my head low, and when I came home from that rotation, coincidentally, my brand new iPhone falls out of my pocket on the driveway and shatters. I hadn't even had this thing for a full week, so obviously at this point I'm being led somewhere. Furious, I load my entire family up in the car, and we drive for an hour to the nearest Apple store to replace the screen because I didn't want to avoid my freaking warranty on this thing. So while I'm waiting there, out of nowhere comes my mentor and boss from before medical school, the ophthalmologist that I worked for. So he walks in the store. I hadn't seen him in over 2 years, hadn't talked to him, and we spent almost an hour right there in the Apple store talking. And then he asked, have you decided on a specialty yet? And I told him my top choices, and he kind of helped me see the benefits and disadvantages of each of those. And in the end, he said he could really picture me as an anesthesiologist. And then he went on to tell me about like his classmates who'd chosen the profession that were happy with their choice. And then one thing that really stuck with me was that he'd never met an unhappy anesthesiologist. Now, I just came from an quote-unquote unhappy family doctor if he would choose a different profession. I know that might be a harsh judgment, but you know, at that time, that's what that meant. And so this encounter with this old mentor was enough to plant in me a seed in my mind that has made me pursue anesthesiology ever since. So that was late in my third year. Then he also told me if I waited too long to make up my mind, I'd be closing doors that might not reopen, and I might not set myself up properly for the match. I am so grateful for the advice he gave me, because I went home and almost immediately started to request away rotations at programs that I wanted to get a spot in. And had I waited another month or so to decide, those spots would have likely been filled. So I've never said that I dislike other specialties, but sooner or later I feel like you'll have to commit to something, and that's certainly what I had to do. Okay, so let's talk about what to expect during fourth year. You've got 2 tests to take, one of which is step 2 of your written board exam, and the other is the physical exam skills testing. But the physical exam skills is the test where you go in front of simulated patients or actors, and you have to do like a history and physical, and then you write your progress note or SOAP note. And then you end up being graded from what you did in the room, the video recordings of your physical encounter, and then what you wrote on your note. So for my physical exam skills test, I ended up taking that at the end of third year to get it out of the way. But you'll have most of fourth year to complete it. And then I took step 2 of boards mid-June, which was like right away in fourth year. And that was strategically because I wasn't happy with my step 1 score. and I wanted to show progress with my Step 2 score. And then I also wanted to be able to focus on my elective rotations and traveling for interviews and away rotations. And for Step 2, I used DIT, or Doctors in Training Test Prep course, which I completely recommend. I mean, my Step 2 score went up quite a bit using that prep course. And I didn't use one for Step 1. I think that if I had, it might have gone better. It wasn't horrible, but I would have liked to see my score a little bit higher. So with those tests out of the way, I've scheduled multiple rotations at programs I'm interested in applying to. They're called away rotations, obviously because I'm away from my normal area, and audition rotations is another name for mine because I'm trying to get into the program where I'll be spending time. Now, in some specialties, you can also do sub-Is or sub-internships. Don't know a ton about them, but from what I understand, it's essentially like taking on the role of the intern during your 4th year. I don't believe all specialties offer them. Maybe I'm wrong there. And then it also kind of depends on the program to some degree. But those are awesome opportunities if you have the chance to do one in your chosen specialty. In 4th year, you also do required rotations, obviously, through like pediatrics, IM, family medicine, surgery, ICU. That may differ from each school slightly, I imagine. And then you'll have elective rotations. Again, I've chosen to do several of my elective rotations as audition rotations in programs I'm interested in. But you should also be on the lookout for letters of recommendation from doctors you rotate with during 3rd and 4th year, which has always been hard for me because I hate feeling like I'm annoying the doctor and following up with it's the worst. But most of the time they understand because they went through it themselves, and they're more than willing, assuming you've created a decent relationship with them and they all liked you. So you wouldn't want to ask someone that didn't like you. Obviously, I've done that before, which didn't go over too well, but everyone makes mistakes. Another obstacle is residency applications through ERAS, where you'll need to upload your letters of recommendation, personal statements, and experiences that will then be packaged to deliver to residency programs you wish to apply to. Now, once you're invited for an interview, you'll spend a good amount of time in 4th year traveling to different programs that you've ranked, or that you hope to rank in the match. Now, hopefully they'll rank you back and you'll avoid the scramble. The scramble, from what I understand, is where if you didn't match, you're given a list of programs that aren't yet full. And then you have the chance to contact them and find a spot from what is left over after the match. Now, this can obviously be incredibly stressful because it all happens fast from what I've heard. And a lot of people end up going into a specialty other than their top choice, which is kind of scary. So this is all as far as I understand it. Now, if you have any insight because you've been through this or because you're going through this and you understand more than I do, please feel free to leave a comment below that might help others out. So in the end, my younger brother told me all last year that 4th year was by far the most stressful for him up until that point, and I couldn't believe it until now when I'm actually going through it, because I mean, a lot happens this year and it's all feeling real now, but it will pass and residency will start and it'll all be in the past, right? At least that's what I hope. Guys, I hope this has been informative to at least a few of you. And if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you very much for sticking around. More great videos to come, working on some product reviews, and I'm very excited to see you guys in the next one.